I welcome you to the final episode of the base game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I have waited so long to say those words. New Game Plus just kept creeping away from me. Didn't matter how much progress I made, there was always just more, and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming.
We're here.
Let's get going.
Our trials and tribulations primarily take place in the Land of Challenge and the final things we have not seen within it. Starting things off, I would like to tell you about the final battle mechanics that we have not discussed. These are things that are not at all necessary to know except when trying to complete the Land of Challenge or indeed Bringer of Chaos. I had no idea what Awaken status even was until I completed my third playthrough. So enemies will have their health bar sometimes glow blue in the Land of Challenge, and this is what that means. This means that when an enemy has an orb on them, they have faster recharges plus higher damage. It's essentially a punishment for not chain attacking often enough and just leaving the orbs there. They also will suffer from blade combos for less time, making it harder to lay down more orbs. It can only be gotten rid of by either busting the orbs in a chain attack, or from Shulk's special, Monado Purge. This is what I got mixed up with Corvin's special when I thought, wait, shouldn't Corvin be able to get rid of this? No, it was Shulk I was thinking of. And I think I even mixed this up in the opposite direction where I thought Shulk would get rid of Enrage status. They are not the same thing. They are similar, but not quite. With us getting so high up in the stats and having third accessory slots on everyone and all that goodness, along with an almost fully powered Poppy, if you want to do challenges or Bringer of Chaos, or both at the same time in fact, everything in battle has a hard cap that can be reached by the player. There's a damage cap of 999,999 on every hit. With how attainable this is, multi-hit moves in a chain attack are a lot more useful than single-hit moves. And with the optimal strategies we can do, you can totally hit that number now. I've done it several times. Agility and misses both have hard caps at 97%. Attacks may only be dodged 97% of the time with agility alone, no matter how high it is buffed, unless you're in a perfect evasion status from an artifact. While attacks have a 3% chance of missing regardless of dexterity and accuracy buffs. So no matter what, nothing is perfect. Weapon stability is an invisible stat, and it's why your weapon does not always hit for the exact same amount of damage even if you are using the same art that you just used a second ago. It's determined by core chip and weapon class multiplied together. For an example of this, a Great Axe and Pandoria are the lowest native stability in the game, while the Moon Matter chip is the least stable core chip. And lastly, of course Shulk and Fiora meeting Rex is not canonical, you jackass! Oh, but it's fun they included them. And I have no proof of that, really, I'm just having fun. Next is costumes, a subject that I've touched on briefly but have not gone in depth with. All the way back on our first visit, there was a cutscene introducing these, and I chose to skip it because it was kind of bloating things and taking away the attention from Shulk and Fiora being in the game as the main focus of that video. So I'd like to show that to you now, and then we're gonna get into the costumes themselves. Arc Sage see Friends Come Bearing Nopon Summons Part 2. Is that meaning Friend Come Prepared for anything? Should I be worried? New challenges, Otherworldly Fighter and Poisoned Paradise are tough as nails. Need every preparation in book. Otherworldly Fighter. Whoever they are, that does sound like a challenge. That one is self-explanatory. Friend try, friend understand. Hopefully friend enjoy. But for Poisoned Paradise challenge, ArcSage offered teensy bit of free advice. Setting is this. Poison monster appears suddenly in spring on certain island. What kind of poison monster? Name is Cloudsea Befouler Ioth. And true to name, he befoul pure spring, so now it deadly and stinky. No place in battle is safe. Have to combat poison and enemies. Challenge is very high level tough one. Well, alright, but it's even possible to beat. Abso-doodly-lootly. You see, Nopon ArcSage has prepared special antitoxin swamp combat gear for friends. Oh, nice one. Does it work something like a salvage suit? Well, not quite. Salvage suit very constricting, cannot move freely, so not well suited for battle. Yeah, you're probably right. Therefore, outfits that Nopon ArcSage prepare not only mitigate poison, but also afford complete freedom of move. And you'll just let us have them? I would love nothing more. However, that got kiboshed by Orderly, who best to trade for flawless Nop on Stone. Oh, I see. Trading it is then. But though, however, Nop on Arcsage really want friends to get them. Definitely for sure. All right, we'll do our best. But though, however, Nop on Arcsage ask friends, please do not get too angry. Why would we get angry? I mentioned anti-poison properties before, but for material with that property actually terribly expensive in current market. Nop on Arcsage is of course big player, but even using all influence could only lay wings on bits and scraps. When make clothes for all friends, surface area per person turn out somewhat small. Small, how small are we talking? About worth of swimsuit. Swimsuit? Indeed, swimsuit. So Pyra, Nia, and all the other guys would be wearing swimsuits. Rex's interest is piqued. Maybe, I guess, but... No, what am I saying? They'll strangle me if they find out! Please to calm Rex's self, surely we'll be fine. Saying word swimsuit is just slip of tongue of Arcsage. Correct term is special antitoxin swamp combat gear. If not wear, then take poison damage. Is quite fearsome damage as well. Friends would die in 10 seconds tops. I'm still not sure everyone will be on board with this. There's only one way to clear challenge. There's no way around. Ah, okay, well it's a good thing they aren't just shoehorning it in for no reason. We'll do our best to collect flawless Nop on Stone so we can get the special antitoxin swamp combat gear. Then I'll do my best to convince everyone to actually put on the special antitoxin swamp combat gear. And then we'll do our best to take out that Cloud Sea Befaller Aoth. That's all Nop on Sage asked for. Knowing Rex is just a matter of time before challenge crumple like wet tissue during allergy season. For sake of Rex, probably best not to mention determined combatant can clear challenge even without gear. Did he just say something? The swimsuits give terrain defense effects, making them useful for certain types of challenges. But there's many other costumes besides those, and I thought we could go over them all now. If you want to do this, there is Chicken Heart Challenge, and I also recommend that on custom difficulty is an easy way of getting those blade combos for popping. You need lots of Nop on Stone to buy every costume. If you're the type that really likes collecting cosmetic stuff, there you go. So starting us off, the costume that I selected for Rex at the beginning of our New Game Plus adventures was Prototype Suit Rex. This is possibly Ellie from Xenogears. I want to say that this is what Rex's color scheme was earlier in development, if it's called Prototype Suit, but no publicly available pictures support this theory. He was blonde in a lot of early art. There's this early artwork of Rex and Pyra that's been found deep within the confines of this game, and it also doesn't really support this. Cloudsea King Rex is Cloudsea King Ken's color scheme. Also good when you need a clip for those early episodes of your Let's Play without the Master Driver outfit in a later save file and the lighting is dim enough that you can get away with using the costume without the audience knowing. I would never do that. Cloudsea Shark Rex. His anchor is a toy Eligo. Rex doesn't salvage in anything but the salvaging suit, so there's no way to see that thing used. Rex gets no variants on his Master Driver outfit, and I find that to be a shame indeed. I could go for one with a more metallic look to it than a plasticky look. That would look sick. Candy Stripe Nia. Just a simple Candy Stripe reference. Looks clowny. Possibly intentional with her wearing a loose-fitting jumpsuit and those being kind of like clown pants. Blood Witch Nia. Just plain cool. Fancy Sundress Nia is the best swimsuit. It's the only way to see her core crystal in driver form. Nia does not get a driver costume that lets her run around as Blade Nia in a driver form, which I do think is a little disappointing. The costume she does get start with Loyal Bellflower Nia, just a blue scheme. Sincere Primrose Nia. Ew, she has to run around looking like Charlotte? Why are they so mean to Nia? Okay, seriously, it makes sense, they're healers. Devoted Marigold Nia is another cool looking one. Also, this costume is special as it's pretty much the only costume that I would recommend buying for its effect. For only 20 Nop on Stone, this here is Affinity Max Attack 6 that you can freely purchase. That's 55%, level 5 is 50%. This is an auxiliary core I would recommend for practically any blade. It's one of the absolute best aux cores in the game, and a costume does not have to be on the blade it's meant for to see the benefit. And this one I'll actually show to you. Oh, she's beautiful. Get back here, Nia. Don't be shy. You got it, flaunt it. There you are. Let's see the shoes. Oh, the shoes being red is extra cool. Wow. I like this look for her a lot. Whenever the Nia figure finally drops from Good Smile Company, somebody custom paint theirs to look like that. She deserves it. Buster Mode Tora. Tora as Poppy Buster. His fur is even silver to match it, having a sheen. Skullface Punk Tora. A punk panda look for him. Best Girl Fan Tora. It's canonical with official science! Pyra is best girl. Also possibly making fun of us. Pyra is the most popular girl in Japan according to Takahashi, so it's probably a reference to that if I'm being real. I feel like Tora could have been given costumes to look like Riki or even Tatsu. I'm surprised they didn't do this. Though I doubt anybody's complaining about not seeing Tatsu again. Dress Uniform Morag for best costume. I never pointed this out, but it makes her match Emperor Nile, just making her look so much more official, you know? And even to a lesser extent, she kind of matches Aegean. Scarlet Inquisitor Morag, just a scarlet color. Obligatory Leave Morag, a swimsuit making fun of how she likely would never go swimming unless she was forced to go on leave. Now we get into some cool stuff. Ember Cake Zeke. The name implies his colors are a reference to Adam, but no, it's not strictly the case. This looks just like Bart from Xenogears. Both have eye patches and jackets, the colors match up, and Bart just is Zeke personality-wise. This is the closest you'll ever get to having Adam on screen with Cosmos, Shulk, Elma, and Rex. Shining Justice is Sigurd from Xenogears, someone who's regularly seen with Bart and also has an eye patch. The fact that these two color schemes are on the same character as the only variants of his default outfit makes me think that the Xenogears reference was very intentional. Surfinator Zeke, swimsuit, also reveals his secret. It won't unlock until Chapter 8 either to avoid spoiling you. His trunks and tie has the kanji from Ultimate Lightning Fury Slash. With this costume, I have some lovely info that I would love to share with you. It's officially canon that Zeke has nipples, and Rex doesn't. Which way's the norm in this universe, huh? Either way, it's Nia covering her ears. Which way's normal in this universe, huh? Is Rex normal and no one in the world has nipples except for Zeke? Or is Zeke normal and Rex was just born without nipples? Whichever way it is, it's equally fucked up. You're welcome. I realized this while doing research, and I have to live with this fact every single day of my life, and now you do as well. I cannot bear this weight alone. Disguised Pyro. Why is this not usable normally? She whips it out in the story just fine. I'm glad that it was usable in some form eventually, though. Mithra-style Pyra, you know what this is. Blue Sky Pyra is Numa, but the name is a reference to the title, Elysium in the Blue Sky. Pro Swimmer Pyra. Hey look, she's the Pro Controller! Stole that one from Luxon. I dub Pyra the character with the least disappointments in her costume. Also, why do blades have belly buttons at all if they aren't born from a womb? Well, probably the same reason that they have. Also, Pyra's kimono costume that we only ever saw in the first anniversary picture Monolith released on Twitter. I was hoping that an update to the game would add this in. It's super cute and she looks great in it. Technically an alternate costume for Pyra that cannot be obtained. Pyra style Mithra, you know. Carbon Mithra.
Carbon's good for you.
Could be Malos, or possibly could be a big spoiler from Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's fun to imagine this is what Mithra would be like had a Malthus chosen her instead. Radiant Beach Mithra is her swimsuit. There is no Towel Mithra nor Numa Mithra, even though there was a Numa Pyra. You can hack the towel costume into the game and use it in battle, and it only breaks a little, implying that it might have been planned. Possibly it was a rating concern. It's always a huge mess when a game becomes M-rated after its release due to DLC or changing standards, so they might have just wanted to play it safe. Savage Dromark, in the words of Captain Padraig, I believe that's a tiger. Obsidian Dromark. No pajamas, Dromark? What is this heresy? No swimsuit either? I don't know, man. Dromark really got shortchanged. Why can we not have him in his pajamas? That was the funniest thing Dromark did in the whole story. And as a guy who just doesn't get to do much in the story after the very beginning, I wish he got his dang pajamas. It'd be so cute. I'd use him in battle more. Give him a good Ox Core effect. I don't give him outdoor attack up 6 or something so that people will want to use his Ox Core. Crimson Orchid Bridget. Red flames, but the fire that she shoots stays blue, so not really red flames. Jade Orchid Bridget. I want to eat her hair. Fire stays blue too. I could see this possibly being based on Palutena if it's based on anything, but I think that could be a stretch. Water Lily Bridget is her swimsuit. Bridget is probably the most underwhelming of them all. They're just simple recolors with vague themes. The swimwear is cool. I didn't know this until recently, but they redesigned Bridget for Ultimate like they did for Mithra, making this a Bridget costume that you can't get inside of this game. Would have been cool if they gave her that like they gave Mithra Massive Melee Mithra. I would dub it Brilliantly Brawling Bridget. Mermaid Blue Pandoria. Just a blue color scheme, but she has googly glasses. I've mentioned this one before, that she's a reference to Mui Mui. The mermaid name might also mean that she's supposed to look like Sheba, as they both have tails and have the same colors. Magical Pink Pandoria, just white with pink hearts. Good costume. Her weapon during specials by default is already a sparkly staff, so this costume really sells the magical girl ensemble. Beach Date Pandoria. Probably the best swimsuit next to Nia. Matches her quite nicely. It shows you where the tail attaches to her body exactly as well, for those of you who want to know that for art reference. Might be what she wants to wear on a date with her prince. YouTuber Luxon has a theory about this costume. That Pandoria and Zeke went on a date, but Zeke didn't know it was to go swimming, and that's why he wore a tie. He stripped down to his underwear after realizing, but deciding he's keeping the tie because he likes it. Cornflower Poppy Alpha is a sailor suit. Cute idea. Swim Lesson Alpha is a wholly original character model not seen anywhere else. And now, the time has come for me to revel in Antique Princess QT. Melia Antiqua. Closest you can get to having her in Xenoblade 2. Nano Orange Cutie Pie is Emeralda from Xenogears. There's similarities between the two characters. If you're wondering why no Xenogears characters were overtly in this game and were just loosely referenced in costumes, it's a completely different company. Monolith was not yet established at the time that they made Xenogears, and those characters are owned by Square Enix, whereas Xenosaga is owned by Bandai Namco, who was involved in the development of this game. From the art book, we have swimsuits that did not make it into the final game. There's this one for Nia, which is pretty similar. I've seen a lot of people draw her in this attire, even seen custom figures of this, so pretty popular design despite not being in the actual game. There were suits designed for Praxis in Theory who don't get any costumes, and it shows you how Praxis's tail attaches to her body. More art reference. And Numa has no equipment, meaning that she has no way of equipping a costume, but this swimsuit was designed for her. I must say, the costumes were a wonderful idea that was horribly executed. This game desperately needed a title system or a cosmetic slot on characters so that costumes could be used more realistically. A lot of these give bad stat buffs that you don't want, that just power down a character for no reason, whereas the third accessory slot is way too valuable to just waste on something like this. Maybe the third accessory slot was intended for this, but using a good accessory in all three slots make you so powerful, and this place is all about getting fast kill times. I would never use any of these except for Nia's. I hope that this hasn't come off too negative. I do like a lot of these costumes. I just kind of wanted to include what costumes you couldn't obtain for sake of curiosity, and also the fact that I do love the costumes, I just don't like how they are handled in an equipment sense. Something that was sort of missed over in the kerfuffle of doing everything in the Land of Challenge. Down here at the bottom, we have idea boosters for Tora that cost 1 Nopon Stone each. Why on earth would you ever want to buff Tora's idea stats? He can't awaken any blades, right? Well, Tora's idea stats have a different usage. The higher your idea stat, you will do slightly more damage with the corresponding elements.
Feel good?
Aw, Tora gets to have ideas too. What are his ideas? Oh, his idea stats are terrible. Oof. Okay, yeah. So doing this was previously tied to battling, and it could take, I think, something to the effect of 80 hours of grinding to max out his idea stats. It was pure unadulterated not fun, and I know one person who's done this. They hardcore do not recommend doing it. You are better off just going to the Land of Challenge, buying these stupid things. This is a minor thing, but I noticed that we hadn't upped our arts in a long time, so I decided we would just max out all of the Poppy Form's arts just so that we would have the best possible recharge on them. I want to reiterate, I am not playing every single last challenge. I just don't really see much point in that. I've already told you, use Shulk, use Fiora, use Corvin, you'll be fine. There is a rematch with Cloud Sea King Ken in here that I've mentioned that Petroka is super good at. That's pretty much the only unmentioned strategy that I've had. Mikhail's basically unkillable when paired with Mithra. You understand how this game works. The same logic applies in these challenges. I also want to recommend attachment accessories for cases where a certain blade is good at soloing a specific challenge. As an additional tip, a lot of enemies involve fighting mobs of weak humanoid enemies. That means that Percival is good in this place. And it all counts as the same fight for his damage buff, so there's no worry about multiple waves being counted as separate battles. Dying doesn't get rid of that buff, nor does switching blades when needed. We are here to do a one challenge that is incredibly worth doing. Elma Redux. Nop on Arcsage, hope friends can let Elma incident be water under bridge. Enjoy fight again like innocent fun it is.
Enemy is dangerous, enemy. Oh, such excitement.
Such excitement, much danger, quite poggers. The true fight against Elma is second verse, same as the first. Art recharge on Corvin is how you want to do this. I believe she's 5 levels higher here, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, she's pretty tough. Oh gosh, not having max affinity is really affecting this. Oh boy, okay. AoE, go! Man, I'm doing over I'm doing so much damage with this, over 100,000 per hit. We're hitting multiple targets. It's so freaking good. We driver comboed her for literally no reason at all. I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Oh, another difference in this fight. A new status that we've never seen before is Party Gauge Lockout. Because there are 4 enemies on the field with this status, she is blocking 4 segments of our party gauge. Because we only have 3, all of them are blocked. As we knock out more and more enemies that have this status, more segments of our party gauge will become available. We cannot chain attack with less than 3, even if it is technically full under the current circumstances. It's kind of a rough status, not gonna lie. My finger is already getting tired. Oh shoot, she has Shackle Driver. Thankfully that didn't last long. And she also has the Ring of Fire status that Gladiator Orion previously had. If you want to do this fight the legit way, Ceiling Reinforcements is the name of the game. Also, level 4 specials to interrupt her really dangerous arts. That has not changed. Oh, Ghost Factory can be used multiple times to summon lots of enemies, thus locking you out of your party gauge extra long. Perfect. I love finding stuff like this out. It's probably done as an answer to people stalling out timers like me. No! Legendary Sage's Auspices boost driver shackle resistance by 100%. Yes, I lost. Here's where to find that. On screen. On text. Because I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, piss off, mate! He said, oh, piss off, mate, to Elma. That's just a funny image. Because Corvin is the least comp-dependent blade of all time, because he just does it all, your allies in this don't matter much. Mithra would be a good ally to have by your side just because she improves dexterity and evasion so much in case you mess something up. But I would like to recommend Petroka pretty strongly. Petroka and Adenine do stack. You could also use Petroka alongside Numa if you want to have Tora in that 3rd slot. Good stuff. Good stuff. Look at this, I'm so brave. I've switched off of Corvin, and it might cost me dearly. You may be right. Elemental Awakening, there it is. Chain attack, chain attack, chain attack. Chain attack, I am mashing the buttons, Zeke! Jeez. Sometimes, when it just doesn't let you input what you want. Corvin, get out here. There that goes. Then we're going for Earth Element to bust this. Doesn't even matter if Rex is alive. I tried to make something work with Numa and it just wasn't panning out. So I stopped caring. We'll get rid of you. You already have the Rage Purge, so I guess it's not a very big deal.
Magnificent. You ready for this?
And Cutie Pie, maybe? Maybe? Not quite. Okay, 2 million damage. It's funny when that's just such a small sliver of the bigger picture. Ooh, smash! Oh, why not? We'll be fancy and finish her off like this. One round should be enough to do a pixel.
Just follow my lead.
I hope. Pyra just sat there in the grass mourning the death of her loved one all this time.
Magnificent.
That's how I'd want to spend a fight to the death if I'm being real. Okay.
Great work, everyone.
Good one.
Whoa, nice. Very good going.
Huh? This is the shot we began on, too.
Didn't break a sweat.
Can only call result magnificent. Splendid.
Please tell me these chests don't go away. Yes, they totally do. Friends clear that challenge also? Oh, that is a very big deal. Truly. Oxage revise opinion on Friends. What was it before? How many revisions is that now? Meh. Friends stop this backtalk at once. Otherwise, Friend not get this treasure that Oxage prepare. Treasure? Do you mean... Behold, it is gift from Oxage. Alrest Link Relay. This looks like an augment for my ground gear armor. Where did you get that? Friends shouldn't sweat small details. Should focus on important point, which is awesomeness of Alrest Link Relay. Is it the same sort of thing as the rings that Shulk and Fiora got? Care to explain? No one explains anything to Elma. Something about this planet, man. If Friend equip this, can leave this realm and travel to Worlds of Alrest. I'd be able to help Rex and the others on their quest, is that right? While my body remains in New LA. Interesting. An opportunity to cross swords with new peoples and enemies. There's more to Alrest than fighting. I could teach you about salvaging, too. She did not care. Seeing Friends happy warms cockles of Nopon's Arcsage. New fiction story is brewing within head. Oh. Also, Nopon Arcsage spent 2,000 years finding Alrest Link Relay, so please not to drop. There will be time for that later. It's time for talking later. Let's go try this thing out. Sounds great. Next stop, Alrest. Nopon Arcsage spent 500 years working on that joke and only got to use one time. Congratulations! You can now bring Elma with you when you return to Alrest. I'm sure your new friend will enjoy wielding her newfound powers in this brave new world, too. Good one. I'll take these last few Nopon stones. Sorry, me stopping and going, oh, there for a second. What the Nopon Arcsage just said has quite new meaning with all these crossovers if certain rumors are true. There might have been seeds for that this far back. An additional note about challenge mode is that the Eye of Shining Justice and Numa deactivate once there are no enemies left on the field. Plus it's once per challenge, not once per battle. Make it count. Swapping light for dark.
I pride myself on being a good teammate.
A fun fact about Elma is that she was originally going to work differently. The only blade other than Corvin that we saw change in the code as her update drew ever closer. Her skill, Crisis Catalyst, at its maximum level, was originally going to give her plus 100% damage and plus 100% critical rate at max affinity instead of 150 and 40. This would have made the critical chance on courtships for her irrelevant, thus allowing her to just go beefy on her attacks without any consequences. Yeah, she was really freaking good. They were gonna make her possibly even better, because being able to crit all of the time, making her the only blade other than Numa to just inherently have that, would have been quite strong. Now that we have every blade normally usable to us, I would like to point out how Mikhail, Fiora, Abrona, and Elma are all based on the Twin Rings weapon class to make new ones. I guess they wanted to base a lot of weapons on it because Dromark was the only one before and it was kind of unbalanced in that way. So with these, you kind of get to see what other playstyles on the Twin Rings and what other twists on it would have gotten to be like. One more challenge. Mark
Enemy
8.
is dangerous, enemy. Oh, such excitement. Let's show them a thing or three.
Not if I show them first, chum.
Okay, it's time to attack. Affinity plays a large role in all.
Lots of trippable robots who are kicking my ass. I need to not throw stones. That's one thing I don't like about this is how usually your tank doesn't get a hold of the enemy's attention right away unless they've got an AoE art. I kind of wish that tanks maybe started with a little bit of inherent aggro as a class bonus or something so that they would make more, so that you wouldn't die at the beginning of a fight, you know? Because that happens to me way more than it should, where I just throw on the golden op on mask because I can't seem to get a fight started on the right foot. Whereas I know it really shouldn't be happening. Here we go! We're going into overdrive, hopefully to take these guys out quick. And there it is! There she blows! That big guy in the back. Strategizer Nitro is the highest leveled enemy in the entire Xeno series at level 200. It is the bulkiest enemy and nearly impossible to kill. Basically meant to be a striking dummy, and it self-destructs after it's taken just a little bit of damage. The way that you'd want to beat this is by having Akos on one of the drivers to flip his defense into negative numbers, having Dagas on another driver, and then just level 4ing on whoever you're playing as every time he is going to self-destruct. Stealing self-destruct with 3 fire specials also works. You'll just be there a while. I don't have any intention on actually beating this enemy. It's more bragging rights than anything else. But I thought it would be fun to at least show the toughest enemy in the game, even if it's not really something that is fun to beat. Same reason I didn't make you watch as I stun-locked Ophion for 20 minutes. First new thing we can do with Elma, Merc missions.
Putting me on shore leave. Very well then.
Really? Team Elma? It is a Xenoblade X reference. That is what her team is called. Really, though?
Subjugation missions around Alrest. Sign me up. I have a strong grasp of leadership. Good luck!
You stuck on a different planet.
Team Elma reporting in.
Great work.
I'd like to think we did our part.
Thanks for getting it done.
You sure are smart. You know, with me and you and my friend Blue. Oh, gosh.
This would be the moment where L comes out with one of his weird sayings.
I wish L was in this game. He didn't get nearly enough focus in his game. Then again, neither did anyone else. Okay, so. Elma. For her skill of Keen Eye, and for no other skill, she wants to reconnoiter. I don't even think that's a real word. This is basically Elma's version of a heart-to-heart. We need to go with Tora, Nia, Morag, and Zeke off to Mazra Spring in Gormont. Oh, what?
This was fighting by you all this time made me into who I am. Thank you.
Looks like I missed a blade.
Well done, you.
Good thing I did that. Mazra Spring is on the lower level of the Gormati Titan. So why the L is this thing called a reconnoiter and not just called a heart-to-heart? Well, my friend, reconnoiter is just a fancy word for a heart-to-heart without any voice acting. See what I mean by Elma feeling like a last-minute addition? Poor X, always getting the shaft, yo. Just didn't feel like calling in all the voice actors again to do lines for this because Elma was an afterthought, so they weren't planning on it when they called them all in to do the DLC. You'll just have to deal with my shrill voice. Here we are. This is Mazra Spring. A mysterious-looking place, isn't it? It reminds me of Noctilum. Noctilum, eh? Is that where you're from, Elma? No, not remotely. The place I come from is very different still. Noctilum is a region of the planet Mira I lived among when humans, whose ship, the White Whale, landed on Mira. Tora not really understand planet, but White Whale is like big, huge, fish-shaped Titan ship? No, it's quite different from a Titan. The name is a reference to something in an old human book. Anyway, Mira isn't my real home. But me and my comrades are working hard to make it a fitting second home for mankind. Though you speak of another world, the story is a familiar one. Mankind finds a way to strive and overcome. It sure sounds like it, and Noctilum didn't exactly welcome us with open arms. Its enormous trees and indigenous wildlife push back against us every step of the way. But it's unavoidable if we're to make ourselves part of the Miran ecosystem. Sounds like a right faff if you ask me. Yeah, but I feel like I get it. It's not like we haven't had to kill some living creatures or run away from some monsters from time to time. It's all just a part and parcel of living in a world as rich as Alrest, right? Exactly. People have to exist inside the world that surrounds them. Well, enough talk for now. Let's do the neighborly thing and introduce ourselves to this area. Elma's focus and lockpicking affinity rewards have been updated.
So that's how you decrypt the data. It all makes sense now.
Just like with Corvin, you don't gain the ability to unlock her other field skills until you have done each level of this. Each one in a different Titan. Next, Ruins of Fountain Park in Uriah. Ooh, I like it already, and I don't have to worry about anyone talking over me. Maybe this whole not voice thing is better than I thought. These are the ruins of Fountain Park. It looks like the place where I first met all of you, with the petals dancing in the breeze. You don't see a view like this every day. It was a lucky day for us when we met you, Elma, and today's another one. The cherry blossoms make for such an enchanting rain. You're so poetic, Elma. I love it. Is cherry the Miran word for the Sophronia trees? Oh, you call them Sophronias. They do look fairly similar to the cherry trees I'm familiar with. I'm touched. I really am. I didn't think I'd get to see them again. Oh? Did those trees only grow on Earth, the place you said was lost? That's right. They were synonymous with a country that was beloved to someone who was very dear to me. Oh. Wow, it sounds like a real sad story. She talks about it with so much feeling, but we have to respect her privacy. Say, Elma, this dear person, was he your boyfriend or something? My prince, how can you be so indelicate? I'll leave that to your imagination. The Sophronia trees were the first things I saw when I came to this world. I wonder if it was part of the Nopon Archsage's plan too. If so, I'll have to thank him. I think that's giving him approximately 7 billion times too much credit, but I guess I'll keep that to myself. Why won't you let us know anything else about X's story? I'm sorry, it's just so unsatisfying.
Soldier or adventurer, you need excellent skills of observation.
And I want to know more about it, man! I wanted X to get a sequel even more than the original Xenoblade because that was a super satisfying plot and had a great conclusion. X, I could say a lot about X. Ancient Wall and Temperantia.
Get so late.
Beware the tyrants that come out at night. You call them unique monsters, don't you?
Ooh, that's a good reference. Also, I am struggling to find this rectum goiter. I cannot find this thing anywhere.
I will do
It
my
was
best to
Bridget.
do my
I didn't
work.
have Bridget engaged. That was the problem. It's right along the ancient wall at the northern edge of the map. I've run back and forth around here so many times. It would appear we are. It would appear we are here. Yes, Morag. That's a true statement no matter where you are. This is the ancient wall which we were to investigate. This land seems ravaged. It's like some ancient battleground. That is exactly what it is. Well, to be honest, it's also a fairly recent battleground. Indeed, regrettably, one of the parties responsible for that was my homeland, the Ardanian Empire. I assume from your tone you were against it? Completely. Of course, in certain matters, conflict is simply unavoidable. But this was not one of those matters. It was a foolish dispute to start, made worse by fools who sought to use it for their own benefit. Nothing more. This world is much like mine, then. Was it like that on Mira, too? Oh, our struggle for survival on Mira is a simple thing in comparison. I was thinking of the rise and fall of the entire spacefaring civilizations in a more distant past of my universe. A clash between two great forces in the near vicinity of Earth space. That conflict was foolish in the utmost. I do not comprehend every nuance of meaning in your words, yet the depth of desolation behind them is as clear as day. For my part, small though it may be, I wish to quell what senseless conflict is within my means to quell. I feel exactly the same.
Soldier or adventurer, you need excellent skills of observation.
Our next stop is the Spirit Crucible Elpa's Vault of Heroes. Oh, what a view of the vaults. We're in the deepest part of Elpa's Great Hall, the Vault of Heroes. I'm finding it incredible that such wide open spaces could stretch inside a titan, inside a living creature. Quite, though we titans may not even be conscious of it ourselves. Frequently people will build things and let them fall into ruins, all inside us, and we won't even notice in the slightest. That's taking insensitive to a whole new level, eh, Gramps? There's cheeky, and then there's rude. Brings me back to that time where somebody put their thing inside you. Mira's got its share of mysterious ruins too, all built by unknown hands. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows who built all these ones either. Well, the Vault of Heroes being a notable exception, I guess. Oh, is that right? Indeed, this place is dedicated to Adam, a hero from the days of yore. He fought a great battle to save people, then sealed his power away here and disappeared. Who knows where? A hero, huh? That's what we in NLA call the one who gave their life to save the people of the White Whale. You used to be Adam's Blade, right, Mithra? Yeah, 500 years ago. Though I've slept through most of the intervening years, so it feels much more recent than that. I talked about this earlier. I didn't know that she said this, how it really only probably feels like she's been alive for a few weeks, even though she is 500 years old, because she was just asleep all that time inside of that dream of Elysium. What? Is there something on my face? So you used to be a hero's partner too. You should cherish those memories while they last. Did you not hear what I just said? To me, it feels like it happened last month, so it doesn't exactly fall under memories to cherish, or used to. Is that right? All right, I'll cherish them, okay? And in any case, isn't it more important for me to make good memories with my current driver? Maybe. I don't think that's what Elma is saying. What is she saying, then? The ruins found on Mira or on Alrest are like those world's memories. I'm saying you don't have to deny your past to live in the present. We should move ahead and make memories as we go. I think he thinks so too. This is getting me emotional. Like, really emotional. Because if you've played X, I'm not going to be specific at all because I want to be respectful.
Soldier or adventurer, you need excellent skills of observation.
They are opening so many cans of worms that are not opened in that game and not elaborated on at all. And they're giving us hints at what the answers to those things may be. And it's just, It's playing with my mind because I've never read these before. I've never gotten Elma into Alrest before now. I decided that I wanted to be surprised for the note that we were ending on, and... Please make an X2. Or port X to the Switch and give us an epilogue or something like you've done for all the other games. Please. 7th perimeter skyport in the World Tree requires Mithra, Shulk, and Cosmos. How did I gain a skill level in the middle of a fight? I had to fight my way through these blade bots to go through the 7th perimeter skyport. Never you mind.
Lend me your transient
It's right next to the skip travel point up here, but I still wanted to show that because of not knowing how that exactly worked, me gaining a skill. Oh, hey, here we go. Wow, we just fall right into it. This is moody lighting for this last scene. This is the World Tree, the 7th perimeter skyport to be exact. I would not be kneeling like that so close to the edge with no guardrail. Skyport. I had my suspicions before, but now it's almost certain. Their World Tree is a man-made structure, just like I thought. It's truly remarkable. The Bionis and the Mechonis are very tall, but this structure is likely larger still. Yeah, it's much bigger than the White Whale, too. Just look at how small the surface of Alrest looks from here. Believe it or not, there's a man who made it up here all by himself. By himself? That's incredible! Even we needed to pull our strength together to make it. It seems inefficient. A single person's abilities are sorely limited. That's exactly why we form combat units and away teams. Together we achieve what alone we couldn't. I agree. In a sense, a driver and their blade are an example of such a unit. A whole greater than the sum of its parts. Definitely. It's only because I had Mithra, Pyra, and all of you that I made it this far. And now you also have Cosmos, Elma, and us by your side. Affirmative. My prognostic heuristics suggest that this should allow us to attain even higher performance levels. Anyway, it's very mysterious. What's that? Just the reason we've all gathered, or were gathered here. It's like the Nopon Archsage said, right? How it was his dream or something. Yes, right. He did say that. But I feel like there must be some purpose, some meaning to this meeting. I don't know why, but it rings true. Sorry. I'm just being weird, I guess. No, don't apologize. Truthfully, I feel something similar, Elma. It reminds me of the words I heard that time. All life, walking hand in hand. It's a little like what we're doing now, isn't it? I'd like to think so, anyway. Everyone, you appear to be enjoying the conversation. Does this mean the reconnaissance mission is over? I completely forgot about that. Come on, let's keep going and put this thing to bed. Agreed. There's a lot we've got to do still. I must learn what I can from this world, and use that knowledge to crack Mira's secrets wide open. I genuinely hope that you'll find the opportunity to do so one day, Elma. Your story is one that deserves to be finished.
Soldier or adventurer, you need excellent skills of observation.
Every single one of her skills is related to beating a regular enemy, and thus can be done through merc missions. These ones are collectibles. The first of these was Clarity Moss. I already had enough in my inventory, so I unlocked it instantly. This is found in Gormott over by Lyda Oasis. Level 2 is found in the remote location of Dragon's Stomach in Uriah.
You don't understand the beauty
In
of
my
stone.
experience,
So that's how you decrypt the data. It all makes sense now.
This one was pretty hard. That's Tri-Edge Isle right there, and it's just to the east of it. I had to do this a few times before I could get any of them to spawn, even though there's ichthyology checks all along the southern coast.
So that's how you decrypt the data. It all makes sense now.
Adam's Tear and Spirit Crucible Elpis is found just near Bone Road, right when you come in. Nice and easy.
So that's how you decrypt the data. It all makes sense
And
now.
lastly, a robotic placoderm. You're just making up words, Elma. I don't know what I expected from someone who insists it's pronounced Nopon. Another easy one. It's found inside of the waste store on the lower level of the world tree.
So that's how you decrypt the data. It all makes sense now.
Everything else is either tied to a challenge battle, or it can be done through clearing Merc missions. Straightforward affinity chart, you know how to raise it. I've shown you easy strategies for beating virtually any Merc mission. Or any, challenge. Any Merc mission. Yes, you'll be there a while. With every single last thing done, it was requested that I see what my playtime is. 280 hours, 5 minutes, 42 seconds. So, because I was making guides on stuff, there were some times where I also waited for things to happen that I didn't have control over, like, it was a specific goal of mine to make it so that no Merc mission notification would ever interrupt a serious moment in the story. So oftentimes I would wait around for all the Merc missions to finish before recording a certain part of the game. I would say closer to about 210 hours of legitimate gameplay. Now I'd like to see how close I actually got to S-ranking Cutie Pie. We didn't get there, but to show everything in the game as well as disprove some rumors, how many? 564. I would have needed 36 more complete blade combos after that. If you're 100%ing the lineup challenge, you'll get this no problem. There's no farming required whatsoever. You don't need S-rank Cutie Pie for anything other than 100%ing the lineup challenge or for Bringer of Chaos, so I don't think it's really that bad. I think they just wanted to separate the boys from the men on this one, because you don't really need that extra power with her to be able to do anything else. Just do the challenges on custom, then on easy, then on normal, and she'll be adequately powered for anything that it would be needed for. I did get pretty close, and it would have been nice to show her with her stats maxed out, but I just have nothing else left to do.
Truly, Alrest is a wonder to explore.
This has to be one of the most beautiful places on Alrest.
You got that right, Shulky boy. Sorry, Monado boy. I thought I would take everyone here, show them my favorite place on Alrest that I didn't even know existed until this journey. There, that's better. All of us brought together here on Alrest. 181 episodes, and we finished one game of 2. Elma! Just want to shoot them. It's like, you can't finish this Let's Play. I'd have to kill you. That's what it feels like at this point. Okay. That's it. Rex's adventure comes to a close. But these aren't the only tales in the world of Alrest that are important. Next time on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, an old adventure. See you guys then. Whoo! Wait, it's all science fiction? Always has been.